Season's greetings to you from everyone here at Channels Television as we eagerly anticipate entering into the new year. We hope that 2015 will be good for Nigeria in the world of sports as a nation, and of course to you watching us on Sports Tonight today. And of course, tonight it's the day before the big day, and of course, we wish that all your dreams for the new year will come true. Good evening and welcome. My name is Yemi Adebayo, and it gives me pleasure to welcome you to the show tonight. Before I go any further, let me quickly introduce my partners on the show for tonight. Let me quickly introduce them to you. Sitting to my right, it's Austin Okonakman. It's a pleasure to have you here with us tonight.
Really good to be here again. Looking at the moments that sports has given to us in 2014. We want to call it bittersweet experience for Nigerian sports, but we just want to keep the sweeter, the sweet part of it, and probably make it sweeter in 2015.
All right, and as well, the Dunodi Okonta. It's always a pleasure to have you as well.
Yeah, Yemi, good evening. It's the last edition for the year 2014. It's the year of beautiful memories. Whether you say it's bitter or sweet, it's a year of beautiful memories. I hope 2015
will be better.
We'll clear up.
Okay.
All the powerful memories of
2014. Okay. All right. So the guys have said it, and that's what we're going to be doing on the show tonight. As 2014 gradually winds down, we'll take a look at 2014. What went down in 2014? Like Austin Okonakman said, the bittersweet memories, everything that went down in 2014. But we don't want to do that alone on the show tonight. I want you to be a part of everything that we're doing. For those of you that have been watching us for a while, you know how to do that. But just in case you're watching us for the first time, we're going to show you how you can do that, how you can get your views across to us on the show, on Facebook, and of course on Twitter, because we want you to be a part of everything we're doing here tonight. Of course, you already know that on Facebook is Channels iPhone Sports, and of course on Twitter is Channels_Sports. These are the ways you could get your views and thoughts across to us. I'm very sure it's going to come up on your screen any moment. And of course, as you participate tonight, there's a special hashtag that we want you to use while you're sending your tweets. We're active on Twitter. We would try to read, and that's it on your screen. Hashtag Best Moments 2014. So once you're sending in your tweets, use that hashtag. That will prompt us to quickly read whatever you are sending to us. All right, so that's it. But guys, let me quickly come back to you before we go on the break. There's many to choose from, but what was the high point of 2014? If I ask you, Austin, is it the bitter part or the sweet part? But what was the high point 2014?
Of course, the sweet part of it. A lot of guys are forgetting to realize that we didn't just take part at the 2014 Commonwealth Games. We used it to discover talents. Again, it taught the country a good lesson that if you invest in the younger talents, that the potential to impress will come out of them. While we're banking on Blessing Okadbari, there was one Ese Brume waiting to be her nest. And when she was given the chance for long jump, she impressed. While we're putting an eye on the old guy called Segun Toriola and the rising star called Aaron Aquadri, there was Ojo Onolakpo in table tennis waiting to impress. And when the time came, he did impress. In wrestling, Oduayo Adekuroye, Aminata Deni. What it tells us as a nation now is 2014 has given us these stars. In 2015, they should keep shining. If they don't keep shining, then there's a problem. It means we do not consolidate on our efforts.
Okay. All right. So, Austin, talking about 2014 Commonwealth Games as the high point in 2014. Let me go to Dunodi Okonta quickly before we go on a break. What was the high point for you, or probably the best moment in 2014? I don't know if it take a while for you to, but your high point.
Well, I think it's a year for the women.
Okay.
The women under 17 team, the Flamingos got to the quarterfinal of the women under 17
Lost
World
to
Cup.
Spain.
The under 20 girls got to the final, lost to Germany for the second time in 2 years, in two successive
Editions.
in 2 editions. We got the individual award. One player got both the highest goal scorer and the most valuable player award. Then they capped it up at the continental level, winning the title, of course, becoming the best team on the continent.
That was the high point for you.
That was the high point for me.
Okay, all right. We're going to go on a break, but when we'll come back, we'll chronicle 2014 for you. We'll start from the beginning of the year, what went down and took us to this point that we're in. So we'll go on that break. When we return, we'll start looking at 2014, the best moments in 2014 for Nigerian sports. All right, welcome back. Well, guys, 2014 started well for Nigeria. A lot of hope. A lot of inspiration. We were never at the CHAN tournament, the football tournament for African players based in their domestic league. We qualified. Not only did we qualify, I mean, it was a decent performance at the CHAN, the tournament in January. And looking back at that, Austin, how would you rate the team's performance?
I remember we lost the first game, and then there were talks of it was a reflection of the league.
The boys weren't good enough.
And a lot of talks of the qualities in there. But then the CHAN tournament was another avenue for Coach Stephen Keshi to stamp his superiority as the best coach in Africa at the time. And for our home-based players, it was another opportunity for them to say, guys, we play good football right there in the domestic league. And I think for us at this CHAN level, it was still the same talent discovery that we preaching that this tournament was trying to do for Nigeria. But let's talk about the way they left. After that brilliant comeback against Morocco that we're watching now, they lost to Ghana. It's Nigeria and Ghana.
Yeah.
But on the whole, if you tell me to score Nigeria at the CHAN over 10, I'll say 7. 7 in the sense that we saw the hunger in these players to represent the country and give us glory. We also saw a determined Coach Stephen Keshi at the time to help in nurturing the local talent, because he said that was also part of his agenda. Don't forget, he took 6 of the home-based players to the AFCON that we won. So in all, the CHAN also another avenue for us to, do an experiment on the local league and see ways we can help our players to develop. Next year, or when the CHAN comes again, we should consolidate.
Nodi, looking at the CHAN, and when we begin to look back at 2014, what are the reasons that you think we should look at this on the whole and think it was a good moment for Nigeria? What are the reasons that you think that our appearance in CHAN, we weren't there before, now we came there, we got bronze, and the way we performed. But why do you think we should see that moment as one of the best moments in 2014?
Well, it created opportunities for these home-based players. It gave the national team options, national team selections options. We saw players we've never seen before. We saw how these players can raise their game, how they can be their best or give it their best, given these circumstances. How they can hold their own in big stage. We saw the like Austin mentioned, the fight back against Morocco was one of those high points that we look at our players and say, yes, there's something in these players that pushed them, that hurts them, that beating Morocco is not,
especially when you were 3 goals down.
It's not a difficult task. But I want to say, yes, we had opportunity from the CHAN. I hope we learn any lessons from that tournament. Some of the players who participated at that CHAN are no longer playing in Nigeria. Some of them had contract, but the contract weren't so lucrative as we expected. Some went to South Africa. Some had to move to some obscure leagues in Europe, but the rest remained at home. But we realized that the players that went to CHAN, we had 3 of them go to the World Cup. The goalkeeper, Azuke Gwekwe, and
the left footer,
Ejike who went to the World Cup. So it's a big plus for the home-based player. For the first time in the long while, we have 3 of them make the team to the biggest tournament in the world.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to another thing that we also agree amongst ourselves that was an high point, Austin. The Flamingos. Unfortunately, they crashed out at the quarterfinals, lost to Spain. But it's instructive to note that They won their 3 games, qualified as the best team in the group. Unfortunately, they crumbled against Spain, but it still was one of those moments you felt proud to be a Nigerian.
Always, yeah, always a delight to watch our ladies play football. When these ladies play football, they define one thing for Nigerian football: promise. They give us assurances that we can get better if we keep talking about it. If attention is given to that sector called women's football. For the Flamingos and the Falconets, we don't talk about the Super Falcons in Africa. Those ones are giants and will remain giants. But for the Flamingos, each time you watch those young ladies play, you cannot ignore the fact that there are talents right there. Something just keeps missing when it gets to the world stage, and the word is preparations. You cannot plant cocoa and expect a big big yam when you want to harvest. I think for us at this stage, when we're reviewing all of